think that digesting the lunch could be really difficult to have few intense projects that actually coming to the end of this one. It's also a Horizon project, as the last speaker said, and it's also a work of 3 years. We are coming to the last 6 months. So I chosen to only share few parts, especially related to my background. So I'm Siham Yamani. I am PhD in GeoBIM parts applied to urban application. I'm also senior GIS consultant with 10 years in the field. And today I'm representing the technical coordination along as with my 2 other coordination, scientific and general, Francesca Nuardo from OGC and also Jan Tiensdotter. So this project is coming to, I think this is not working. Talking about technical problems, we have logistic one. Okay, good. So this project started first as diagnosing the challenges that are in the field of digital building permits. So also bridging the gap from the research to the practice. How can we benefit the practice from the developments done in the GeoBIM parts? But also it came through the needs of the current challenges related to municipalities in terms of the bureaucracy, of all the submissions, all the process map through designers until the final validation. Second challenge is related to people in different municipalities are not well upskilled, or they have some challenges related to human resources to get the minimum requirements for people who could implement these digitalized building permits. One of the parts is too many softwares. We are kind of in the tendencies of going also in research on general, the BIM to geo parts, digital twins, and also a lot of companies and software vendors and also researchers are related to these topics, but still we couldn't yet streamline some foundational challenges in terms of the geometrical conversion, for example, for BIM to geo, which is still for many, many years, it's still yet there. The second part is the scalability. There is a huge challenge in terms of regulations, depending on different contexts, specifically in Europe. So how can we make sure that we understand the current situations of the law, we interpret it, we see how the technicians use it on a daily basis, and we can digitalize it at the level of possible digitalization. Semi-automatic, automatic, we will talk about that. But what is really, really important at this point is one of the results of CHEK projects, which is, after these implementations, is the best practices to public authorities. What are the suggestions to make the law also digitalizable for the next period? So these are, in a summary, few of the main challenges that CHEK Digital Building Permit project came to answer. One of the first things, it's a Horizon project, as I said, and it's ending this year in September. And it's mainly to make sure that we implement in 4 pilot cases CHEK compliance in both the BIM parts at the scale also of the city and the scale also of connecting both environment to make the use of both parts. Through what? We have a digital platform that is connected mostly at the moment with OGC API, and this platform is also aligned with each context process map municipalities. We are 19 partners from 11 countries. I let you imagine the challenge, but I take it in a real great opportunity because we have here 5 software vendors. The main parts related to the platform, SciP, Virtual City System, and Synapse. So rather than the commercial part, we also connected our TU Delft solution to the first partner, Virtual City System. DIROOT is for the IFC signature authorization, which is digitalized, and the second part, which is so important, is the exporter, the IFC exporter from the Revit and also ArchiCAD that make it possible to be aligned with the IDS. Research universities, as we said, we have Fraunhofer, Brescia, Minho, and they are the three parts, the last ones, they are involved in the AI parts related to either rule interpretation or the digitalization of the process mapping. I'm not going to delve into each partner. We're going to stay here a long way. But one of the main things, we have also designers, constructions companies from Poland, next neighborhood. And we have 4 pilot cases municipalities from Italy, Ascoli Piceno, to Portugal. We have Lisbon and Vila Nova de Gaia. For the other case, we have Republic Czech for Prague City. The last standardization parts, which is so important at the level of the BIM to Geo and the best practices, we have OGC and BSI. So I came to summarize what this project aims or objectives. There are 5 pillars that we found out a really innovative approach to bridge the gap from the research to practice. First part is how can we digitalize the processes to make sure they are adapted to each municipality, but also how can we also define the level of maturity levels of each municipality. The interoperability parts, which is the tools and the converters that we developed in a way that we can not only tackle the visualization or the imports, but also the geometrical conversion of the minimum data requirement needed from BIM to Geo and from the Geo to BIM side. So as upskilling, we are, if you are really interested at our platform, at CHEKDBP.eu, there are, now there's a summer school and also online training that you can be subscribed on if you contact us as a community of practice too, for municipalities, stakeholders. This is really important because we are at the last part of our project, so we need to see how far this can be useful and your feedback, how these outcomes are interesting to you. Today, I will focus mostly on the parts related to, so again, logistics. Okay, good. To these 3 parts, it's a really limited timing, so I will show you a few outcomes that we found out are interesting to discuss and present. First of all, talking about digitalization, we try to make sure that the solution and the data requirement, they are simplified, but the simplification cannot be easier as this jokes that put in that it's an easy list to use it. That's the problem that we faced in the core of the challenges, is that the iterative process, while discussing with municipalities and making sure that the tool is, in the meantime, streamlining, easy, but including all the level of digitalization. We have 3 parts in the processes. The process map as it is, so how nowadays in each municipality the building permit process is done actually. That's how the process map. And how we would like to aspire to a level of digitalization that my colleague will present in detail. Do we have the organizational level, the processes, the technology in this municipality to uplift to a semi-automatic or an automatic digitalization part? That was really the cartography, the mapping starting point, so we can know our expectation to be less ambitious and also realistic. Second part, maturity model, which includes these elements that I talked about and the roadmap. But one of the things that came as an outcome is an AI tool that was developed by our partner, Franover, which is a virtual assistant that makes sure to answer and digitalize these 3 parts. The first one is to map the process, as I said, as it is. The second one is to use the DBP MMM to make sure to have the current situation of the maturity level, and then to see to what maturity level we aspire and what is needed as a roadmap to achieve it. This has been done, specifically the first one and the second one, via the AI tool. That is also, if you are at the community of practice at this point, you can use it, refine it, due to the prompt so that we can also leverage it to better answers. So if you are a municipality, then you can create a project and make sure to map and to explain in detail what is your process map at the moment. So it can create you the BPM and tool that can be also updated and also with your suggestions, of course. The second part, which is I found it really, really interesting during the process, is the maturity model. We've done it in 5 pillars for the 4 municipalities, how far these municipalities are ready at the technology level, as you saw there, but you can also have the maturity level at the process parts, the technology parts, and the human resources that can achieve it during the implementation phase. I just made sure to have a video here. I know we don't have a lot of time, but just to give you an idea on how the demonstration parts on it, so you can add the register yourself. If you are a municipality, so define your municipality and try to talk in the chat box with prompts that there are specific also descriptions and guidelines to use the prompt to the most useful parts. Then your BPM is created and you can still edit it and modify it. Not sure if I can accelerate. Yeah, for example, I will take an idea for your municipality. There are some specific rules that are really important to the process, so you can specify what is needed, or the iterative process with designers for the pre-submissions, enter the validations, so it can be adapted through the whole process. Until paying fees, all the whole stakeholders involved in the process. I fortunately cannot accelerate it, but you can check it later and get in touch with us so you can use it, of course. Second part is the technology, and which is specifically my technical background, the GeoBIM part and the standardization. We used for that the IFC and CityJSON and CityGML for the part related to the city part. And one of the main parts that has been achieved is the toolkit, which involves many softwares connected. The rule check implementation, I will show you a few use cases that has been computed. Specifically, as we are in this project, the only one in Horizon project using the urbanistic rules and the city parts. More specifically, we have these 4 designs for a new building, but we also experimented at this point the renovation also digital building process. It's good to know that these 4 pilot cases, they represent 4 different building permits. We have the school parts, residential parts, and we have also commercial parts that are presented. Okay, then for the process map, if you remember the first part that we talked about it, for each step, we adapted, personalized the tools that are needed for the pre-submission, the submission, until the validation or rejection. The first part, I will give you the example focused on only GeoBIM part, but we have others also. If you started with the city model development, what we do is we have a first input, GIS data from the municipality. I can let you imagine it's sometimes can be raster, sometimes can be data that are really in 2D. So what we did subcontracting collection for level of detail specifically for Lisbon to have it at the level 2.2 so that we could have openings of the surrounding buildings and we can check also distances. The second part is to validate the city model, and this is OGC's ontologies that has been done, which is also a first time from the research part. Using CHEK rules, we have profiled for the 4 municipalities an open source solution. It's also in GitHub if you want to go see it. CHEK CityGML validator, and it provides the reports at the geometrical level and semantical level in order to validate if you have the whole set of data set as a minimum input needed before you start the project. For example, you will see you need a road, but at the level of the sidewalks. If you don't have it, then your report will mention that it's not existent for your starting point. Second part is the configuration of the map. We have a plugin based on Virtual City System platform that has been created only for this project, the deployment, and then the connection to the API that we have. Second part is the pre-submission. As you know, as a server of submission in this project, we have used the platform of SciPiece. And then the plugin has been connected to the BIM server, and you can directly access your rule set there and directly have the visualization and the results. The BIM to Geo part, here it's more Geo to BIM part. We used the converter developed by RDF, which is a company that made it possible that we could have the surrounding buildings converted to IFC, which was, believe me, one of the most challenging bottleneck parts. We did iteratively, since also we needed not only the geometrical parts, but we needed also some classification in entities that has not been done yet in IFC 4x3. It's one of the things that are really useful is by the end of the project, we have a roadmap to suggest it to BSI. Yes, then we go to the design phase, and you can submit your, oh yeah, I will wrap up. I will try to go directly. Yes, I want to focus also at the BIM to Geo. We developed for with my colleagues the IFC extractor envelope, which used two parts. There is the voxelization part and the envelope extraction via IFC OpenShell and Open Cascade library. And it made sure that you can convert and extract the envelope of the building. And we made it at the last month to extract also each floors and the volume and also some attributes related to the building height. So that's really important thing because we talked about BIM to Geo, but the visualization is existing, the integration is existing, but the conversion is still at early stages, and we could make it with few preliminary results. Yeah, the final digital building permits, so they're receiving the application until the final decision. I will go quickly because I need to show you a few examples rather than describing it. Here, as you see, is the model of Ascoli Piceno. And after the data collection, it's not visible, but we have the maximum building height, the buildability index, which is based on the volume, and then distance checks to the roads. These values has been scaled, so the same parametric logic has been adapted to the 3 other municipalities. Via the JSON files, which was our main machine-readable parts to make sure that we have the rule set needed into the platform. Yes, I want to show a few. Yeah, this is in detail. Why I wanted also to precisely show it, because the IFC envelope extractor is connected to VCMap platform, and you can directly convert the semantic model from IFC to CityJSON LOD2. We have LOD 0 to LOD 2.2 at this platform and directly generate the conversion on the platform. So I'm not going to talk only about achievements. It's not all rosy and glittery. We have many challenges in the process, and one of them is, you see, it's easy. It's only distance from cantilever to the pedestrian walk. But actually, when you detail the whole data requirement, you need really 7 steps and different data sets. Since you need to find the closest, what is the closest sidewalk? Then when you automate that, what is the outer edge of the sidewalk? Differentiate also the above ground from the below ground building parts. Then the project above the ground building parts to the ground to include the overhangs. So these are like the most easiest right to the point low regulation, but when you want to digitalize it, you need to really pay attention and have a lot of time to make sure data sets are there. I will quickly go to lessons learned. But first of all, what's next? We have these 3 pilot parts, that's why we are here. One of the outputs on the standardization work from what we achieved so far and what we suggest for the extension of CTGML specifically and encoded in CTJSON, and for the next version of IFC, we will have a deliverable that will be open about that. Latest demonstration and training. We have the community of practice, and in July it will be an online event, so we would like you to also benefit from the trainings and the outcomes if you are interested with what has been showed. And thank you so much for your attention and your patience. You can also contact me because I have a second hat. Rather than CHEK project, I work in, with my technical background in GeoBIM parts to implement solutions to other municipalities. Thank you so much.